These are Sony XM5s, and they have a real common, this one has a real common problem. This little metal piece, which is the only thing that holds this earphone to the headband, comes out. And I'm going to try to glue it back in there. First problem is it's such a tight fit, it won't go back in there. So I'm going to take a really sharp pointed knife and take some of the material out inside there so I can at least get this back in here before I glue it. So there's a nice little pointy knife I'm going to use. I'm just going to go in there and try to scrape out some of the plastic inside there. So this will slide into there. The other thing to keep in mind is, see that little cutout there? That matches up with a little extension inside there of plastic. And I'm going to try to not take that out. I want to leave that in there so that that can match up in there and slide in there and give it a little bit more holding power. Okay, so I scraped out a bit of plastic on the inside, so now I can get a fairly tight fit on that. I'm going to clean the insides, clean this all with lacquer thinner, and put a little bit of tape around here to mask off this bottom part, and use epoxy to glue this metal swivel inside there. Okay, I said cleaning it with lacquer thinner. I'm cleaning it with acetone, actually. Probably the same thing. Couple things. As it turns out, I'm not going to mask this off. I'm going to glue this together, and as things are drying, I'll give it a little twist to make sure it doesn't actually solidify and harden this together. To be aligned. The other thing is these little notches here have to be aligned correctly, because you see how this turns like that, and you want the same thing happening on this side, turning correctly. So you just have to make sure. And I'm not sure, there's a tiny little seam along here that actually lines up with those notches. So I'm using this epoxy, super strong, and this is a long cure epoxy. So I have, like, you know, an hour to play with it or so, or longer. So I have lots of time, don't have to rush, and if I need to, I can take it apart, put it back together, and take it apart, blah, blah, blah. I'm not too worried. What a mess. I'm going to clean this up because I got time. Just get a good layer on there and then press it together, and then so I'm not going to show you that because it's too hard. You press her together like that, and it looks pretty messy. I'm going to try to wipe that off, but I'll need 2 hands, so really can't be doing this. Probably need 3 hands. But I'm hoping when that solidifies, it's going to be good and strong. So this is the end result. This was about a week later, by the way. Since then, I've swapped this speaker out. That's why it's gray, and I've been using them, and they've held together just fine. This was really awkward to get together and keep together. 2 things I would do. I would use a quick set epoxy, something that's set 4 or 5 minutes, because you can't kind of clamp this. I tried to put tape on it. It's just kind of a funny shape and doesn't work. I ended up putting a piece of tape around it, which wasn't the best to keep it together, but it worked out. So I'd use a quick setting epoxy so I could hold it together like for 5 or 10 minutes till it's set. Second thing is that what I discovered was when I put this on, it's really not a big deal to take these speakers off. There's no soldering involved. It's just plug and play. Lots of videos online as to how to do that. Do a search of like replace hanger XM5s and it'll come up. It takes about like maybe 10-15 minutes a place. But anyways, I've been using it for a week. Seems to be holding together. I did do the thing. I kept on turning this throughout the curing time just to make sure it didn't solidify there. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that it's holding together as well as it has. I think so long as I don't abuse it, it's going to be just fine. And yeah, it's a fairly it's not a great design. You know, this is maybe a way to get some more life out of really expensive headphones that have this problem. So hopefully this helps you if you have that issue. Thanks for watching.